What?
And we are live Wednesday night with those guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
What's up? Welcome to Wednesday nights with those guys.
How you guys doing tonight?
I'm good. I'm good. I just got your alert that you are live. That means I actually
same here.
clicked the bell. So
Yeah.
the bell should be getting it in over a series of every few seconds. Now, what I don't understand about it is sometimes I know someone who clicked the bell and they get it an hour after a live stream and they live here in the United States. I don't know what's happening, but they do. But anyway, tonight's a special Wednesday nights with those guys because we have Sean Geeks Vana from the United Kingdom
Hello.
here chilling with us. And of course, we have the Ed McMahon of every live stream on YouTube in the North American coastal area, and Herman Phantom Flight 101. What's up, Herman?
Well, tonight we have a few different things. Like I said before, DJI hooks up with Fuji, talk about an Inspire 3, and DJI has a new app and it's not for flying. Let's talk about it.
I'm cool. You know
what I mean?
I watched a few videos, and I know everyone else here has, and I've watched a few videos on speculation and what they think the software is, but we have Sean on here because he has the inside skinny on something you may or may not have heard about this app. So
Indeed.
we're trying to hold on to that little bit of beef right there. It's like putting a steak down in front of a lion, you know?
It's like trying to get that last little morsel off of a beef rib.
Yes. You're willing to break the rib just to get that last little piece off.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Now you do it, you hold it with your paws, and you get on it with the side.
No.
Hey, Saigon, what's up, Mr. Crawley? Guys, hey, Ron NX.
Hey guys in the chat.
Everyone in the chat, we're just killing a little time before we get on our main subject, which the subject is once again, Herman.
Well, DJI has this new app everybody's been hollering about, and a lot of people are worried, and a lot of drone pilots have a little fear because of the climate now about drones, and people all the speculation is going on out there, and we have Sean here tonight to talk about it and to see if we can maybe clear up a little bit of things about it. Like I said, DJI has a new app and it's not for flying a drone.
Indeed.
Can you go into a little bit of it without spilling the beef, Sean?
Yeah, I mean, basically, where we're at is that DJI don't necessarily believe that the belief that's being built amongst the drone community is 100% correct about the app. And they're very, very keen to get their voice out there as far as what the app will be able to do, when it will be used, why it's coming into fruition, and really try and get their own side of the story across, because they're feeling a little bit not picked on, but I think one of the issues is here they've got a very good marketing machine, very good PR machine. So any little story that happens, they will get it out there very, very quickly.
Well, from what you were talking about just before we went live, I'm under the impression that everyone has the wrong impression of what the app is actually
potentially, but I also don't want to sound like a DJI spokesperson or salesperson, so I would only say potentially. I will put across what I've been told, and then the community can debate and discuss as they always do. But it came up pretty much because I had I'm having conversations with this person at DJI, Brendan Schulman, regarding other projects that I'm working on, other videos that I'm making. So I thought I would just fire this across as well to him, and he was very forthcoming.
Okay.
Because I told him I have to go back to those guys with some answers. I can't be going back there with no answers.
I was just curious, like, what was the brainchild behind something like that? Why, really at the beginning it was like, why we have something like that?
Well, yeah, it's actually an FAA initiative. The FAA have come to a group of companies. They formed a board. It's 4 very special letters which I can't remember the name of the letters of the group.
Mhm.
And basically the idea behind that group is that they are there to come up with and solve the issue, in inverted commas, of remote ID. It's called the ASTM standard.
Okay.
And the app that was shown was actually just DJI showing a demonstration of it. It is not the final version. It's not going to how it works. Do you want me to run through the points that Brendan raised with me?
Oh yes, most definitely.
Yeah,
Most
okay.
definitely.
Okay, so first of all, you can see on my screen here, there's the first tweet that I got back from him, DM. As I say, we're talking about some other interviews with some other people in DJI and himself, etc. So there's a long ongoing conversation. But then I did say to him, okay, we need to know what's going on with this and who can actually see it. Now, his first answer was that it's up to the regulator. They did a tech demo to show the ASTM standard way of doing remote ID. What is required to broadcast available to the public is a question for the FAA. The first thing that he wanted to stress was the app was an initiative by the FAA. This wasn't DJI basically waking up one morning and saying, I want all drones to be traced. This is something that is coming, basically.
Right.
And the main reason behind that is the next wave of advanced flying cannot happen without remote ID. So all of these stakeholders have got together, Amazon, the insurance companies.
That's meaning the drone delivery companies.
Drone deliveries, yeah,
Right.
Ambulance drones that are going to take defibs out to people, that type of thing. And all of these weird and wonderful things that we can have our skies filled with. They all got together and said, the issue we have here is without remote ID and remote ID on all substantial drones, drones above 250 grams that aren't toys, it's not going to happen because the insurance companies won't give you insurance just to zip around without knowing what's around you, etc. So it's something which is coming. Now, one of the issues that they had, and one of the concepts behind this particular app is that rather than allowing the FAA and the US government to come up with new rules to basically dictate a problem that isn't there. So let's say, I don't know, they'll make specific corridors that you're not allowed to fly down and restrict our airspace even more.
Mhm.
The idea behind this remote ID system was to allow free flying to continue. Because again, as we all know, there was one of the other competing ideas to this was to actually effectively have a tax that would not only trace where you're taking off from, but would charge you a local state tax every time you wanted to take off.
Wow.
So DJI claim that they're trying to fight against that type of system. Now, the next point is an important one as well. It's the regulator who will decide which app user sees what information, not DJI. So it is down to the FAA and over here in the UK, the CAA, to decide.
I was wondering when
who
you
sees
said
what.
regulator.
Yeah.
I had assumed it, but I'm glad to hear you say that.
Yeah, so it is down to to those clients essentially to decide who can see what. And he said that in the main there is going to be a lot of protection for the pilot's privacy, as much as there is protection for the end user's privacy. So, for instance, a scenario was given to me that somebody is out walking, someone's in their back garden, they see a drone flying around, they are going to be able to call up the details and find out that drone is a bona fide drone operator. It's someone that's registered and everything else like that. And the basic outline of what the drone's doing, pleasure flights, Part 107 mission, whatever that may be. But they're not going to, that individual isn't going to be given the freedom to see everything, if that makes sense. They're not going to see where you've taken off from or where you're flying to. Now, police officer driving past in his vehicle will be able to see all of that data. So if he wants to go and have a chat with you because he's wondering, is this flight plan correct, or I'm not happy with something that's happening,
or are you flying legally?
Yeah.
Well, basically, they would already have the information on whatever flight that they may have gotten a phone call on, and they might know already what you're doing.
Exactly.
I got where they're going with it.
The next one, which is quite important, I feel as well, is that the app only uses line of sight Wi-Fi rather than a general broadcast.
I got
so
you.
you are literally talking about, if you can see the drone flying over your house, you'll be able to look it up. But if you're not looking at it by the time it's half a mile away, you're not going to be able to look at that drone's information anymore.
Gotcha.
So it's going to
Well,
be
the
quite
app is-
limited.
The app is only as limited as the qualifications of the phone. If you
Yeah,
have
yeah.
an $800 phone,
Yeah,
it may go a kilometer or a half a kilometer.
exactly.
If
Yes,
you
but
have a $70 phone, it may only go, a few meters.
yes,
50,
but there is going to be ring fencing on the actual app itself, so that if the drone goes away from you beyond line of sight, then you're not going to be able to track that either.
Now-
again, as an end user. But
There's one
again, the
question
authorities
that
will be
I
able to
would
see
be
more.
interested to know about this app and that is, can you set this app, or will the app, and maybe if it's not in that software and this gets back to them, that may help too, but will you be able to have the app on and say a drone's coming into the area or something like that? That would be kind of interesting.
Yeah, I don't know on that, because again, it's been stressed to me that the app is not finalized. It was a tech demonstration to show how they feel it should be, for them putting their bid forward, essentially. This is how we should do it. But the decision on to use the system in the States with the FAA, I've been told is going to be put open to public comment, I believe from December onwards. So it will be important that everybody keeps an eye out for that. Obviously, I'll publicize it on my channel and come back to those guys and make sure you're aware of how to do that when it becomes public.
Right.
Because that will be important to be able to say, yes, this is potentially the system we want, rather than something more draconian, or perhaps one of the other systems that comes up sounds more attractive. Because as I say, I'm not a DJI salesperson, honest.
Okay. Can you hold on one second,
Yeah.
Sean? I'm looking at the chat room and I'm looking at it in real time.
Mhm.
And I'm noticing when Herman has it set up, so when someone talks, they're on the main view. Herman, in the upper right-hand corner of Zoom, the main panel, does it say speaker view?
Yeah, I had it there so we can see what he was
For
showing.
my little tiles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks,
You
Herman.
got to go back so everybody can see.
No, that's why. No, that's
Hi,
why
hi
I did
Mr.
it.
Crowley, by the way.
What's going
Sean.
on, Geese Father? Sean, how you doing?
Hey,
Yeah,
Mr.
good, thanks, sir.
Crowley.
Okay.
I did it so you could see what was on his screen.
Oh, much appreciated.
Hey,
All right.
Sean, in your back and forth with one of the guys developing, is this a precursor that all of us now are going to be inundated to have to put in flight plans, time of day, all of those kinds of things in before we ever take off?
Not necessarily, no, because as a hobbyist, of course, you don't have to have a predetermined flight plan. And what I've noticed is that with the new regulations that are coming in across Europe, the EASA regulations, which seem to be, for once, we seem to be ahead of the States. A lot of what we're bringing in next year is rumored and is being discussed about becoming law in the States. None of that restricting hobbyists to flight plans, etc., is actually being mentioned. At the moment in this country, there is an app called Drone Assist, which is run by our National Air Traffic Control, which actually allows me to tell them when I'm flying and where I'm flying from, and tell every other drone flyer publicly.
It's
I do use that every time I fly. So I'm kind of already.
What is that app?
It's called Drone Assist, and basically it's kind of like Air Maps. So it shows you where you're allowed to fly, but it's actually made and created by our air traffic people, the National Air Traffic System. But it also allows us to notify them and notify every other drone user that we're taking off, how long we're going to be flying for, and draw a little circle on the app to say this is the kind of area we think we'll be on. But no, Paul, to answer your question, I don't believe that is, but who knows what's around the corner, of course, but certainly going by what's coming in across Europe.
Well, I would think, though, that there's got to be some kind of an input from each pilot, because you'd indicated, like, if you're a commercial pilot or if you're just a hobbyist, you're going to have to check some kind of a box, because even as a commercial pilot, I can fly under hobbyist rules.
Absolutely. Well, not necessarily, of course, because as soon as you turn your DJI craft on, or your drone on that also uses the system, it will automatically start broadcasting, and it will keep updating the information. So it will say, I've now taken off, I'm now at this height, I'm over here.
Like Sean, here in the United States, like Air Map, if someone's flying, they would actually want to fly through AirMap, because AirMap would give you the authorization. And you
Yes.
also have the option of saying whether you're flying as a hobbyist or as a
Yes.
107.
Yeah, which we don't have here because we don't have the wonderful system of Lance or anything similar to that, which I think is a fantastic system.
Don't worry, it's coming.
It's coming.
It would be nice. It would be nice because it would open up a lot of airwaves for us.
Well, it still has its bugs. Like I said, there's a spot here in New York where it shows 0 altitude. Now, usually where it shows 0 altitude on Lance, your bird won't even take off. But to say cannot take off, you can have 107 authorization, whatever, it won't let you take off in some spots. Now, there's one spot that has 0 altitude, and Herman knows about it, and a few other people in New York, and you can actually take off. So Lance isn't exactly perfect, but it's 85% pretty accurate.
It's better than what we've got as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is nothing.
It's a lot better than where we were going.
Yeah.
Right. Because right now it's to the point now where they're slowly putting up Manhattan was a no-fly zone to begin with. But now there used to be a time where you could fly from Queens or from Brooklyn across the water, and as long as you were 300 feet to 350 feet away from the shore, you could take pictures of Manhattan. Now you try to do that and you're running into little minimal small geofences around specific areas.
Wow.
And so far, anyone that we know, hey Val, that's hit a geofence, I ran into one by mistake because I didn't know it was there, and I just kept sliding along the side of it. I'm like, hey, why am I going? I'm pressing straight forward, but it was sliding like this. And you look on the map, it was sliding on the outside with geofence. So I backed away and I'm like, whoa. And I looked at the map, I pulled up the Google map, and it does show a specific colored no-fly zone area that wasn't there before.
The other thing, Sean, is if this comes to fruition over there, just like if it comes to fruition here, there's going to be a certain curve to educate FPV flyers.
Yes.
They think they don't have to register.
Well, yes. And in actual fact, I made a video about 4 months ago, which was called something along the lines of is FPV or the death of FPV, which basically, even from the manufacturer point of view, because bear in mind, the remote ID is going to be law here in this country from next year, but the manufacturers won't have to start producing the drones until 2022. So they've got a 2-year legacy period. But that's obviously manufacturers with a lot of money. How an FPV self-builder is going to build all of this tech into a little mini quad and then fly that quad to the new regulations is beyond me. So I think FPV is going to change fairly significantly. And I think what we could actually see, I think someone has a business opportunity to open up FPV fields up and down the country where there's specific areas where people can fly the FPVs, where there are spotters there, that type of thing, and keep that side of the hobby going. Not quite as going as far as the race drones, DRL or anything, but just having a more open versions of clubs essentially.
Well,
but it is going to cause significant issues to FPV flies for sure.
I knew it, and I knew that was going to happen. It was coming right
well,
up.
if you guys have any question or you're wondering what we're talking about, are you on those invites, Herman?
Who?
You?
Which
Or no?
invite? No, I don't have. I don't know why Val didn't get. And I don't have.
You want me to send one to Val?
I just sent it.
Okay.
I just sent it.
Want me to send one?
Can you go over the subject that we're talking about for people that are just coming in?
Well, we were talking about.
Oh, wait. That wasn't it, Val. That wasn't it. False alarm, fake one. I was advertising. I shared the live stream on Facebook. So that was a link Val just got.
You got you sent one cool bit. Yeah, we were.
I'm doing that right now.
You were saying to mention we were talking about this.
The subject, right? So no one comes in and wondering what's all of this jargon we're talking about.
Who's this?
DJI, and everyone is quaking in their boots about, wondering what's going on with this app that they're supposed to be coming out with on their remote ID. for your drone that everyone believes that they're going to be able to give up all your information. And as we were talking here tonight, nothing's written in stone yet, and they're still working on it. And Sean came on tonight to talk to us about it, to try to dispel some of the myths that people have about it. That's because no one really knows exactly what's going to happen yet.
Yeah,
Right.
and also just to clarify, I kept talking about the guy at DJI. It's Brendan Schulman, who's the vice president of policy and legal affairs at DJI. He's a pretty well-known public figure.
Okay.
He's extremely
Welcome, everybody.
Well,
I just threw all my FPVs in the trash.
And we're lucky that Sean is here to kind of help us understand what's going on, because
You're welcome, Paul.
it's not everybody that has a contact with Showman, because he's a busy guy.
Yeah, although he is a very nice guy. He's
Yes,
a very he does talk to a lot of people. I mean, he was even over here for the UK parliamentary committees deciding on these new drone laws. He was one of the guys they called in. So he's definitely on the advocate side of drones, obviously always on behalf of his company, of course. But he was very vocal about our registration scheme and told them it was way too much money when we were doing it at £16.50. And sure enough, they did drop it to £9 after his testimony, which I think was one of the only ones that was really against it. He actually feels that drone registration should be free to ensure that everybody does it, basically, because then you have no excuse. And I can understand to an extent, but
yeah, I mean,
I would rather that what they did, Sean, in when you go, let's say a novice goes in and buys a DJI drone at Best Buy or wherever,
right,
and in there is a coupon that the manufacturer paid for you to sign up your first drone.
yes. Well, I'm not sure how they're going to work it yet, but one of the clauses that comes in 2021, 2022 and our new regulations is that you will not be allowed to sell an unregistered drone if it's obviously above 250 grams.
I would be 100% behind that, because you don't have any excuse. In fact, it would be even in the best interest of these drone companies to pay for that first year of your registration.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
it's a good idea, Paul.
Because you're paying for it out your pocket anyway.
Not picking on you, Lawrence, but are all those drones on the wall back there, did you pay the $5 or whatever?
Excuse me.
Actually, as a hobbyist, well, no, he's
As a
107.
hobbyist, that's it.
He's 107. As a hobbyist, see, I get away with one registered and one, and all 5 of them are registered.
Yeah.
Paul, he doesn't have to register those.
They'll change. That's going to change.
I'll be right back.
Hey, Ray, how you doing?
What's up, fellas? How's everything? What's up,
Ray.
Carly? What's up, Paul?
Another day in paradise here.
Another one. That's why I muted myself. I'm not talking FPV. Y'all can go ahead with that. I'm with Herman. Herman, just sit there, be quiet. I'm gonna be quiet.
Paul, he doesn't have to register those.
Yeah. You're right. I forgot.
Yeah. Anyway.
No, he doesn't have to register those. They don't fly.
No shit. Those are the dust collectors, huh? Dust collectors.
Yeah, but he still owns it. If he wants to sell it or whatever, he's going to register.
Oh, they trophies, bro. They can't fly. Only one of
Swapped
them.
out parts.
Yeah, exactly.
We have already made the joke that because we're going to have to only sell registered drones, are we going to have essentially decommissioned drones that we can sell without registration? A bit like decommissioned weapons,
Well, when I sold
the old cars that you used to only you could sell with a handwritten bill of sale.
Yeah.
When I sold my
Exactly.
first Maverick to my uncle, I gave him the registration. He registered it. I sent the letter that I sold it to him. But then I recently saw that in FAA's website that you have to notify them when you sell a drone. So.
Yep.
They notified you.
No,
Yeah.
you gotta notify.
No, I notify them. Once I'm ready
okay.
to sell another drone to somebody else, they wipe the registration number off there. I give him his new his serial number. He registered himself now.
Right.
Yeah.
So they take it off my cart now. So, this way, if he crashes it and they find that drone somewhere, it's not on me if they bring up the serial number. I transferred it over to him.
Oh, yeah.
That shit's serious, man.
Yeah, that
Serious.
would be big time. Yeah.
Nowadays,
Somebody.
Nowadays, a lot of people will probably be, more, inclined to do that because
Yeah.
of these issues going on.
Yeah. You mess around, you buy a drone from somebody, it go down and he crash it. you got problems because all you're gonna say, oh, you don't know what he's gonna say, yo, he let me borrow it, whatever.
Because what's gonna happen is, with somebody might do something crazy, especially. I'm just saying, we were talking about it tonight. Remote ID.
Mm-hmm.
Your name's still on the registration.
Yep.
It's not that guy flying by. It's you flying by. You could be at work.
Exactly. That's why my father always said, when you ain't got nothing in your possession, say it got stolen. They stole it out of my truck.
Well, Ray, today I went and registered my Mini, okay?
Nice.
Because I'm a 107. So I registered the Mini, and in there it has all the drones I've ever registered, and the ones you can check a box on each one if like it no longer or remove. And,
okay. All right.
It puts a check mark as removed. And when you do that, it brings up another box that says the reason. Did you sell it? Did you destroy it? Was it stolen? Blah, blah,
wow.
blah.
Okay. Only for 107. So they didn't show me that, but I went through the website and I saw that on their website, but I didn't see that. That's cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least they're getting serious about these things, and people need to start taking things serious as well, man. Like,
exactly.
talking to a guy today, like they just doing crazy things. Like, yo, you don't fly no more. I said, no, I don't fly with guys like you no more.
And some guys just don't get it.
I don't want no part of that, man. Nah, because where I live at and the neighborhood that I represent, every cop, every elected official, they come to me to do flyovers for them in events. And anytime there's a drone in the neighborhood, first thing they do, they call me, Ray, is that your drone in the area? Nah, if somebody's flying a drone, so they already know if it's me, it's good. But anybody else reckless, they be on them. I don't located bodies in the water and everything for the Harbor Charlie and everything.
Yeah.
I do the right thing with the drones. I don't do no crazy stuff.
That's because you use it for not only your benefit, but community benefit.
Yeah. I run a nonprofit for kids almost 30 years, so I try to do the right thing, man.
Yep.
And that's why I don't fly with those kind of guys. I ain't gonna say those guys. That's how I work.
Yeah.
Them kind of guys,
So, Geek Savannah, what kind of a feedback are you getting in England from flyers over there?
Well, at the moment, because we're in the month where our registration scheme comes into place, everyone's pretty much been in a tizzy about that. We had a really stupid story out that actually our registration scheme, the law hadn't passed Parliament, so I had to go to the CAA and get a written response from them and make a video just to prove that it's actually law, that the law is the law, which was one of the most bizarre videos I've ever made. But everyone's still pretty much hooked up with that in the UK at the moment. I put out a video a couple of days ago about a reminder that these drone laws are coming in from next year onwards. And we're slowly starting to get a bit of feedback on that video. Again, people either supporting it or confused, but there is a lot of support, because I actually think that despite the fact that, we're going to have, this will show you the confusion. We're going to have what's called an open category, which is where hobbyists can fly. Within that open category, there's going to be 3 other categories: A1, A2, A3. A1 is flying over people, A2 is close to people, and 3 is far from people. And you're then going to have a drone of different classes, class 0 to 4. And different classes can be flown in those different airspaces. So like a class 3 can only be flown in A2 and A3 and not A1. Class 0 can be flown in A1 and any of the others. But we're actually going to have CE marking, which is basically a European manufacturer marking. Right. So when you buy the drone, it's going to tell you the drone class on there, so that if the authorities do stop you, they know straight away. So
the government is going to rate the drone for what it can be used for.
Yeah, exactly. And so it sounds extremely complicated, but as soon as you buy the drone you want to buy and it says you can fly in these areas, these spaces, then you're good. So, it might actually do the drone industry some good, because they may sell a few, because we're actually going to allow flights over people.
And that would limit a lot of people from doing stupid stuff too.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. And, you're going to know straight away, get registered. This is your drone class. You can fly this drone class in these areas. Here's the app to find those areas. But in actual fact, they're going to be adding a go slow motion mode, which will actually allow them to get within, I think it's about 10 or 15 meters of people, which at the moment we're not allowed within 50. So some of the rules are going to actually help us which is awesome. But
Well,
also, most of those drone classes 1 to 3 are going to have to emit less than 80 joules of force when they hit the human head, which again is why I think FPV is going to have a real problem. That, you know, if you fly it into someone's head, it won't cause them significant damage, because an FPV, just the sheer speed it's going at, is going to cause a problem there.
I had heard talk about that during the time when they had the symposium, the FAA, and they were talking about that.
Yeah.
And then the time when it came back again, when the proposal came in about flying at night and flying over people, you know, with this new law. And I was like, okay, here we go. Now they're leaving it up to the drone manufacturers to log that data on what the classifications could be, what the classifications they fall on. And I'm like, okay. So let's see how that goes.
Yeah, I mean, I think, as I say, it's something that's going to be extremely complicated, but it will be very simple for your average user, because you'll just buy the drone off the shelf, go fly it in this area, which I'm personally, as a hobbyist, I'm looking forward to.
Right. Well, for the film or video, you're gonna need like 3 drones in your bag.
Yeah, exactly.
But you know what? By forcing them to register when they buy a drone off the shelf, it'll cut down a lot of third-party drone companies that are selling their garbage here in the States. You have all of these toy drone companies that are trying to say, look, if you do a review, you'll get this drone for free. And then they don't tell you, but you have to purchase the drone. And then if they like your review, they decide whether or not to give you the money back for it.
Yeah.
Or they just say, screw you, you got the drone and I got a free review out of you.
Yeah, exactly.
All of those smaller companies will get knocked out of the sky.
Yeah.
If they don't put transponders in their stuff.
Right.
Or they could actually be banned from flying.
Well, yeah, they would have to raise the price on that junk too.
Well, interesting, the other side effect of those regs is that our PFCO, which is the Part 107 for the UK, is actually going to disappear essentially, because they're going to be rating the flight on a flight by flight basis. So essentially, you're going to apply immediately for the waiver for that flight that you're conducting. There will still be some education. There'll be certificates you have to hold, but it's going to change very an awful lot, really significantly, to the point where hobbyists will actually be able to fly for money in certain areas of those airspaces without
like
any.
That 336 or 366 or something like that. Some law they had before. I think I read about something like that.
Under 333.
333. I meant maybe that's what it is.
Yeah. So yeah, it's going to be a very interesting couple of years. Whether I'm still flying drones in 2023, which I think I will be, but will be an interesting to see if it's
planning on it.
Well, it's all evolving, and it's
only a few years away.
Way to go.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you have to look at it that where we are at the moment is drones in their infancy. You know, we are the old car drivers with the little man in front with the little flag walking along to keep us under 10 miles an hour. That, you know, that people in 50 years time, 60 years time will look at us as, you know, crikey, I can't believe people just used to take their drone out and fly it wherever they wanted to fly.
It's like younger folks today could never understand why in the hell did they have a Model T you had to crank to start it. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But you know, and
John,
was that your first cow, Paul?
Yeah. I had to trade in the buckboard. I got $30 for it.
Hey, what's up, John?
Hi, Desmond Donders in the chat. How you doing?
From what I see there, no one's asking any questions related to this particular app. People are still popping in randomly and popping out. But Big John from here in New York just got in.
You guys have me here on a different subject, if it's okay, just anything about YouTube?
As far as
the COPA, the COPPA.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, basically what YouTube is saying to you is if you are a YouTube creator and you put out a video, you have to say whether that video is suitable for children or not. Now, when they say
aimed at children,
they're talking 11 years, 12 years old and younger. Okay. When you hit the teen years, it's kind of a grayish area. But basically, if you have, for example, your son sitting in your lap and everyone's laughing and joking and stuff like that, they could consider that for children. But then the average person would say, why does he have his son sitting there in his lap with all, and they're talking drones or whatever. It's basically for creators.
That I
Maybe
heard-
someone
I
else
heard
could
that
explain
part.
it. Maybe someone else can explain it better than me, but hey,
Sure.
jump off. Basically that's what it is. I had to sign an agreement saying that my content was not for children.
Yes, I
Now,
did the same thing.
I
And
keep
that-
getting that banner every time I post, and I just ignore it.
you know, you have to fill
You
it
have
out.
to fill it out.
You have to fill it out. Now, supposedly, if you don't comply with this and you get hit, you can get hit with a $42,000 fine per
Okay.
video. Now,
Oh, per
me,
video.
I just
Yeah,
clicked
come
the
on. I
button.
mean, that's insane. $42,000.
Listen,
Video.
it's. I don't even know where the hell I got the number from.
Think about that. That's just. Oh God.
That was a number that I think they
Excuse me.
did
That
throw
stuff
out there.
drives me crazy.
It was 42,000 and change. I just
Right.
personally rounded it off to 42,000.
Yeah, somebody was
that's the
posting it
max.
on my channel today and was saying, "Oh, YouTube's going down."
Well, on Facebook, there was a petition. I actually posted it in those guys too. It's a petition trying to stop YouTube from doing this, and they needed 500,000 signatures. When I signed it, it was at 300,000 and growing every second. So I don't know what
Yeah.
it is now.
I
Well,
don't
that's the thing
think
you
you'll be able to
posted.
stop them because obviously this is from the Federal Trade Commission,
Right.
and it's not new laws. It's off the existing child privacy
Right,
laws.
right, right.
So
They've already
they're
made
just
it.
enforcing it essentially.
They've already made it so that if you're a child and your child goes live, they
Yeah.
took the chat room off from the kid.
Yeah, that
because
was
they were-
two separate things actually.
Yeah.
The comments thing was because the P word. I don't want to
Right.
muddy Herman's stream by talking about the P words.
What's the P word?
Okay, people that might look at content with children for nefarious reasons.
Right,
Um,
right.
Yeah.
That was
Or like
professionally
pedophiles
said.
and stuff like that.
Sorry.
Like weird, like freaks. Like
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
basically, yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
So they were leaving codes in the comments. So they would say, if I found a video that had a child taking a bath or something, I'll put banana 776 in the comments. And then
Right.
other
And
people
then,
would search off of that, and then they would know that that's a good video to watch.
right,
So obviously
right,
people
right.
panicked and then took the comments off anything to do with children, which is good. They were trying to protect people. And there was actually one of the very large YouTubers did a documentary on it and exposed the whole thing. And he obviously did the whole community a huge service because these people were pretty much able to operate, without being spotted. The copper thing is actually the Federal Trade Commission fined YouTube $170 million for breaching child privacy laws by essentially what they were doing was they were allowing children's channels to market directly to children from the point of view that obviously if you watch a lot of YouTube channels, obviously you have personalized ads. Those ads will suddenly start to be more what you're looking for. So for instance, for Ray, I doubt Ray has too many lipstick adverts coming up on YouTube when he's watching YouTube because watching drone videos, football, that type of thing. So the same was happening with the children. So the children would basically be watching all these little children's channels where they're unboxing toys or having all this fun, and then the adverts would then become personalized to them. So the companies were paying huge amounts of money to advertise on specifically and only on those channels.
Mhm.
The law was breached because in order to generate those personalized ads, YouTube has to be collecting data on those children. And if they're doing that without the explicit consent of the parents, it's against the children's privacy laws, which fall under the Federal Trade Commission.
Gotcha.
And that's the fine they've done. So basically YouTube's reaction to that is to say, basically anybody that has any content that is aimed towards children, you must tell us. And if you do tell us, you will still be monetized, but it won't be personalized ads. So therefore you're talking about some of these channels that were getting £40 CPM dropping down to £6 or £7 CPM. So it will cut their income dramatically. And part of the the legislation that the FTC are using is a little bit vague. So there is actually another petition online which is asking the FTC to come out with absolute black and white guidelines for YouTube, for creators to be able to say this will get you in trouble, but this won't. So sorry to dictate the microphone there for a minute, but I thought I'd explain.
Because you were just explaining something to us, and I just think the whole thing is going crazy right now, because I know Paul was mentioning every time he goes upload a video, that blue banner is up at the top.
Yes.
You know, I watched the video that YouTube sent to everybody, and it said to either go to each video and mark it as not for children, or mark your channel as not for children. Boom! I thought it was said and done with that.
Yeah, no, indeed. I mean, there is another way of doing things, which is, we all know Chris Hope.
Yeah.
He uploaded a video, an excellent video of cinematic footage from his Mavic Mini, which is actually so good I watched it twice.
Mm-hmm.
And it was only a short video, but he marked that actually as adult for over 18 only. So when I came in, it told me that it's been marked by the owner for that. So you could go to that extreme, but certainly as far as the regulations that has been explained to me by other YouTube documents and the YouTube creator, the insider creator channel, etc., it is the stuff that's aimed towards children. That's what the trouble was caused over. But of course, YouTube basically, I always describe YouTube compliance as a sledgehammer. Sometimes they need to go in and just cut out the problem here with just those children's channels, but they can't do that because that's not how the algorithm works. That's not how the huge company, worldwide company.
Yeah, that's not how they make their money, basically.
They just hit the whole thing with a massive sledgehammer, and unfortunately, we get hit with that sledgehammer as well. So we get hit with new terms and conditions, etc. So it really is. It is a difficult one, but as long as you're not producing content directly aimed at children, and you're confirming that that's what you've done, then you should be fine. If you start uploading cartoons and clicking "this is not aimed at children," then of course you're going to get in a lot of trouble. Yeah. So, I mean, I've also heard the opinions, some people's opinions that, you know, for instance, I think Curtis Dart was showing a video where he'd had that massive rubber duck boat that he'd seen which he'd taken footage of, and that could be enticing children to watch because it's something that children would enjoy watching.
Right.
But the video wasn't made for, you know, it isn't something made towards the children. Is my interpretation of it, but there are of course many other interpretations out there.
But see, once again, it's something that no one knows, because you can have a video that's a cartoon, but it's still a video not for children.
Yeah.
Like Family Guy. Or it's like that.
Yeah.
Well, technically, yes, that is not for children.
No, Bart Simpson was never either. But they watched it, you know.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, these things are already in place to protect children when they're watching TV in developed countries like the States and the UK. There's already the you know, people like the FTC.
Yeah, if you want to call the United States developed.
And still that's left up to the parents, because if you don't program,
yes, but the type of advertising attached to it is highly regulated. If that makes sense. So they're already there to protect them. Basically what happened here is YouTube went ahead and this children's industry just grew massively. I mean, you've got that Korean kid who's worth 100 and something million from his little channel. He gets 25 million views on his videos. It's those children that the FTC was trying to protect, because those children are deemed as too young.
Right, but in the long run, they wind up hurting a lot of these children's live streams, because they mentioned one time on Sunday nights with those guys, I think there's some kid that gets paid by YouTube to sit there and open up toys and play with them. And because they got rid of the chat room, his revenue dropped dramatically.
Yes.
Now his parents, the house that they're living in, they got from this kid's money. The cars that they're driving, they got from this kid's money.
Yeah, there's several YouTubers out there like that. Several. There's the kid as I just mentioned, the kid in Korea that's worth about 100 million.
And you saw what happened to that girl that drove across
$100 million
you remember the girl that drove
old.
across the United States and went to YouTube? She was only making about $1,500 to $2,000 a month. And when that went from making that to literally zero, because of the new standards of the 4,000
Hey,
minutes.
Mr.
all-
Crowley wants to know how he can get into the toy opening business.
Big time, dude.
We're 40 years
Well,
too
you-
late, Mr. Crowley.
Yeah, you're gonna have to shave the mustache, Crawley,
Yeah, I'll shave the mustache.
and change
the
your
head.
rating to 18 plus.
For that kind of money, Mr. Crowley would wear a diaper.
I was just thinking that. I'm like, you know. All right, kids, let's open up some gifts today.
I could not picture you, Mr. Crawley. I could not picture you looking like Baby Huey.
No, that's not appropriate.
The
So yeah,
42K fine. Hold on. Jump off says the 42K fine that's a channel could face is just that to scare tactic. If you talk
I
to an
agree with that.
attorney, there are a lot of checks and balances that have to be met before.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can be
This
fined.
this isn't a moving violation fine where a police officer pulls you over and says, "There you go, there's your ticket."
Right.
You know, there is a prosecution that will have to happen for that fine to be implemented. And I think jump off is 100% correct that it is a scare tactic because they want that to stop.
Well,
I could see very soon clarification coming out from the FTC,
Okay.
especially
well,
with this.
all
this
I know
petition.
is if you can get $42,000 out of me, you're good.
You know what I mean?
You know, if
I
you
agree.
can find something I own that costs about that much,
You can have.
you can have it. Plain and simple.
After you find that, see if you can find something else, and then I'll sell that one.
Thank you. Right. But you know, it's funny because if you think about it, the only people that are really going to be using this app, and I mentioned it on Sunday nights with those guys, are people who are into drones, law enforcement, or it may be a part of their job to just go out
yeah.
and scan the area to see count the drones that fly by.
Yeah, I mean,
You know, I could see all kinds of practical
it's
uses.
also 100%. 100%. The only real reason this is coming in now is because of the drone superhighways. So that the little Amazon drone that's flying along, its
Right.
insurance company that's insuring it to do that knows where everybody's drone is, and
Right.
that's 100% the reason behind the remote ID.
It's funny
Oh,
because
Desmond, I don't know. Rape jumped out. Maybe he'll be back.
I had heard some talk about, was it Airbus, and someone else was teaming up to do what do you call it, air traffic control for drones.
Yes, that's right. NASA have actually been. It's called a UTM, Unified Air Traffic Management System.
Right.
And NASA are working with Boeing and a few other companies at actually trying to test it. Interestingly, there has been a lot of resistance at a government level because of who's going to pay for it. Whereas they've then said, well, actually, the remote ID system will work very nicely to deal with, you know, prosumer drones, and the UTM, the unified system that Herman's talking about, would deal with the drone superhighway, so the delivery drones, etc., and that type of thing. So aircraft can also see where they are.
Okay.
Oh, Paul's on the phone. I thought he was trying to say something. You know, it would really make the drone community interesting if they just go ahead and make you register right there on the spot. You want a drone, you want to fly, and as far as the FPV end of it, as far as them using the app to track drones, the real flyers put GPS in their bird anyway. And once you have a GPS transponder in your device, it can be located and it can be tracked. A lot of guys that are doing long distance flying and stuff like that, or diving a building, they put a GPS chip on it, or one of those little tile chips, GPS chips they sell on Amazon, on their drone. So if it wipes out on the 32nd floor, they know exactly where it is and they can find it with their phone, etc.
Nice.
So this Wi-Fi system will be also picking up FPV drones as well. Not everybody puts GPS in their drones. I'm just getting into the drone stuff now.
Yeah, yeah.
Tell you,
although to be remote ID compliant, it would have to be transmitting, you know,
it would have to have a GPS chip in it at a minimum.
Oh,
Yeah,
stop it. We're not going to do that. We're going to put a GPS chip in this. Oh, Lawrence. Look
You're
at what's
almost
all
done?
brought it up.
You're almost done.
Wow.
Oh. Lights coming on.
Okay.
All
Keep
the LED
showing the progress.
Looking
Keep
good.
showing the progress.
Little micro camera,
Okay.
1000 TLV. Bum, 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 bum.
You should
Yeah.
have a lot of fun. I'm waiting to see you finish building it.
I just started it today.
Oh, okay.
I just got all the tools in. I just did it actually after my show.
All right.
So
Now,
okay.
does no one has any questions related to this app, or they're just I know a lot of people have watched the live stream afterwards to catch up on what's going on. I know there's a group that come in and watch, then there's a group that watches from the outside, and then there's a group that sits in the chat room and communicates with us. As
lurkers.
Hadley says, there are transponders in the new FPV flight controllers coming out in January. See,
Nice.
and that's good to know, Hadley, because as of December 30th, any drone or anything that's classified as a drone or quadcopter is supposed to have some kind of transponder. So if they're already putting them in the flight controllers of the FPV birds, there's the answer to that solution. And will they be able to find FPV? I mean, if you have a modern bird and or something with one of those new flight controllers, you can't do anything about
Yeah,
it.
the
FAA
issue-
required transponder in January. See, and
Yeah,
it
the
starts
issue
December
I have
30th,
in this
exactly.
country with that is that it's the drone itself that has to be emitting the signal, not the controller, because that they did try that already here, if that makes sense. They did try that because obviously DJIs could emit from the controller as well, as in camera drones. But yeah, it's actually going to be the drone itself that has to be sending the signal, because obviously because it's working line of sight, etc. Going, if you're checking it when it's going over your police car or something, it's that has to be emitting the signal, not the controller.
Okay.
For
Okay,
our regulations, nothing to do with the states, of course.
Okay.
I'm
Well,
back.
it'll be good that these actual transponders are on the flight controllers, because right now the flight controllers also have gyros and everything else. So not only can you tell where the drone is and that it's moving at 75 miles per hour, but you know what altitude it is also, supposedly through this app.
You know
Yes,
what?
that's right.
I said it
Riggler.
before. I said it before, and I'll say it again. I can't wait to buy a drone in the next 10 years.
if
I'm gonna have a headset on with a radio and everything, and
Coffee.
flight command and
Well,
everything before I take off, land, everything.
Herman, I want to see you in that pilot's outfit with the stripes right around, the hat with the braid and everything, you know?
What's up, Explicit? How are you, brother? Thanks for coming to Wednesday nights with those guys. If you see that we're a little more serious tonight's a special Wednesday night with those guys, because we have Sean Geeksvana from the UK. Please support his channel. He brings all of the drone news from the UK across the pond. I click the bell on his page, and usually if Sean has something that we don't, I kind of pay attention to it. So by the time it does get here, at least I half sound like I know what I'm
A lot
talking
of
about.
that news that he mentioned and we were talking about is here and there. You know, it's affected everybody. You know,
Right.
it's getting
It
crazy.
affects FPV pilots. It'll affect you camera drone people.
Yep.
And for those of you who have not heard it, effective December 30th here in the United States, January in the UK, all drones made or qualified as quadcopters, etc., will have to have some type of transponder. And I just found out from Hadley's famous FPV in the chat that he said there are flight controllers coming out with transponders on them also in January. So this will confirm that app that DJI is coming out with, it will be real, and that they want to be able to identify anything in the air. And I could understand that if you have a racing drone and you're doing 75 to 100 miles per hour across a field at tree height, or you're diving a building, you know, I would just be interested to see if that particular app shows a little trail like the DJI does. You know how it shows where you
Shows you
went
the
to
little-
and where you flew back. I would be
Little
interested to
triangle
see.
flying around, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I believe it does to certain users. So yes, like the local authorities will be able to see that.
Right, right, right.
But actually, one other thing that was that I had any you saying that actually has just prompted this. The big difference between the DJI system and the other systems which are being put up against it is the DJI system does not store any data. So the second the flight is over, it's gone. Whereas the other broadcast systems would have to centrally store all the data, basically. So your, personal data, your flights that you're doing would be somewhere in a central.
So in other words, it would say like Sean flew 27 times last month.
That's right, exactly. But on the DJI app, it as soon as the flight's done and over, it doesn't exist anymore.
Now, see, that's kind of interesting, and I understand what you're saying, but knowing DJI, I would almost not believe that.
No, you wouldn't believe the Chinese.
They're holding it.
See,
so
that's exactly what I'm saying.
but we're talking about a company that it makes its money sharing information.
Yeah. Well, we all know there's flight records out there.
Hey, Metro Drones, how are you?
It's like
They don't actually need to track our drones anyway, because they're tracking us through the chips in our kettles.
Yeah,
So they already know everything.
That's kind of crazy too. I mean, if you're flying a drone over a field and you're counting cattle, I could see it being used for that purpose. But
what?
Urbanly, it's gonna no.
I don't want to know.
No. They're no. What I mean is that they have a drone. There's a guy who put a device on the bottom of his Phantom drone, and when he wants to count his cattle, he flies the drone over the field and it goes bleep, beep, 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 and he counts all of them. That's how he knows some are down by the river and whether the pin is full or not.
That's awesome.
That's so cool.
Awesome.
Mr. Crowley was like, "What the hell?"
It's a clear camera, and it can sense the heat.
Right, but all of his cattle have a chip in them.
Yeah.
Right.
Just like the RFID for the dogs and the cats.
Yeah.
His
And what they're doing for
his
humans.
cattle has an RFID chip in them also. And that's how he counts them.
That's awesome.
Wow. So
All right,
if one is wandering down the road, he knows.
Yeah, all right. Well,
Desmond Donders actually says he thought the chip was in his head that they track us by. That's coming, I'm sure.
Next.
Well,
Yeah.
it don't have to be. It's already in your wallet.
Yeah.
It's in your wallet already. When you have your
Let's get
ATM
it dropped real
card,
And
your
your car.
credit card,
Yeah.
and all these other ID cards.
Lawrence, let's get it
Huh?
dropped real quick.
Go for it.
All right. Wednesday night with those guys are sponsored by
Those guys.
There we go.
I haven't
I
got
don't
my
know if
time.
Val was here to hear that, but it sounded good to me.
Well,
Okay.
it
You don't have
sounded
to
good,
do
but
it
she'd
over
yell
again.
at us anyway.
You
Just-
guys in the chat, please support each other.
Yes, check out each other's channel.
It's still early. Sean, I know it's incredibly late over there by you, but you seem to be a night owl anyway.
Yeah, I'm definitely a night owl, so I'm in no rush.
There's a couple of times I've got up in the middle of the night and couldn't sleep, and I've seen you and a few people in some live streams. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
But then it's that time difference.
Coach,
No one's bringing the pickle. This is a serious
Coach said, "Put the
Wednesday
pickle."
night.
Put the pickle in.
I think that was aimed towards Hermit.
I've seen a
pickle-
couple of references to that, and I've
Yeah.
decided to ignore them.
You,
So do I.
Sean, you and I both. I
No
ignored
pull out-
each and
no
every
pull
one.
out in the chat.
What grabs my pickle?
Hey, Rojo, how are you? What's up, everyone? And welcome to Wednesday nights with those guys. We were sitting here
Hello, Robert.
discussing that DJI app and some little intricacies that may or may not have been discussed on a few other live streams. And pretty much, if you don't know about it and you fly a drone, you might want to have it on you. At least I would have it, because now I know when I go to coast to coast, when I go to fly somewhere, that would be one of the first things in my pre-flight check.
Yeah, to see if there's any other
Checklist.
drones in the area. But then
Right.
again, your app for your drone will be telling you that very soon too.
Well, it's similar. It'll be similar to like Flight Radar 24. You know that app that I have that shows you every
I have it.
airplane
I have it.
in the area. This thing is really good because it's called Flight Radar 24. You can download it from the App Store or whatever, but it actually shows every airplane in the area. And not only does it show, like, what this one here is landing at JFK. If you guys see that group, that's JFK International Airport. The information that it's telling me is that this plane came from Boston to JFK, and he's descending right now through the 430 feet, 300 and change. He's descending fast to land at the airport. But what makes it a great app is wherever you are, you can see the plane traffic around you. And also, you can use it for family members or people that say that they're on their way to your house and they got on the plane late. You could say that's bull. You're not even on the plane. The plane never took off. This right here, it shows 3 airports at once. That's JFK International Airport, LaGuardia Airport, and that's Newark Airport in New Jersey. These are all of the flight paths. So if they make the app not this detailed, but as good as this particular app is, Flight Radar 24, it should be fun to pull out the app and say, well, hey.
DJI already has that app on the Enterprise. When you buy an Enterprise, it has the aircraft. It shows it flying over top of you, the distance, the speed, the altitude, and everything.
Well, if you remember, they experimented with that with the Mavic Pro before they launched the Mavic 2. Guys were saying after an update, you would see a picture of an airplane and an arrow, or the plane would be pointed in the direction where the plane was. And you were supposed to look in that direction and more or less you should be able to see the plane. But they took it off of the Mavic Pro, and I haven't even seen it on the Mavic 2.
Well, what they're planning is that everything that they make in the new coming year is going to have it.
Right. So, okay, you'll be able to identify helicopters. You'll be able to identify planes.
Right.
You'll be able to identify drones. You'll be able to identify emergency UAV, as well as commercial drone deliveries. That should be pretty interesting. I know some of my friends, their head would explode with all that information.
Yeah.
I told you.
I don't need to get more information.
You're going to have a radio and everything. Even though Paul wants me to look like the captain of some cruise ship while I'm flying.
Actually, on the Flight 24 app, did you see the 747 that actually drew a giant 747 in the sky?
No,
that is actually someone's flight path. It was the Israeli El Al airline. When they retired the 747 from their fleet recently, the pilot flew the course to draw a giant 747 in the sky.
No, I didn't see that.
So that it's forever in the flight records, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that is. But I now, had you said it was some rich sheik from Saudi Arabia, I would have believed that.
Yeah.
You've seen the picture of the design he drew that can only be seen from space, right?
Yes.
He's written his name in the desert and created an oasis around his name. He's drawn a giant palm tree, and on each leaf is almost like a different city.
Wow.
Could you only imagine what kind of drone he buy?
Oh yeah.
You know, the ones that started about like Walkera. Walkera has an industrial drone that starts at $16,000. That's the kind of stuff they would probably buy. Well,
they've probably already got the EHang drone taxis.
No, they do. That's all in effect. That's all in effect now. The EHang taxis only go from rooftop to rooftop for now. They plan on putting some
aren't they starting them in New York soon?
Well, no, the deal is with New York. Uber Duber, we call it because of their drivers, or stupid Uber. They are fighting for a contract to get to fly from Manhattan Island to JFK International Airport.
Wow.
Now they're fighting for it really hard because I guess their solution is, hey, there's a 50-mile wide drone corridor that you guys have upstate New York. Who's going to draw the first corridor from Manhattan to an international airport?
Why don't they try something a little safer like LaGuardia?
Now, my problem is, whatever drone they do pick, it better be salt water.
Well,
you know, because with all this water here. What's that?
We saw the drones that they have out there for that kind of work.
Right. And EHang and hey, what's up, Jay Santiago? How are you? Yeah, uberly stupid. That's a good one, Bill.
It's a coming.
It's they are, like I said, Sean, they're lobbying for it, they're pushing for it hard. They already have some drone that looks like a giant helicopter with a bunch of props around it.
Yeah, yeah.
And to
Basically,
be honest,
body.
can you imagine? You hear an army helicopter coming, you hear a Chinook helicopter coming from miles away. Can you imagine something coming towards you
Yeah.
with 8 props on it,
No, indeed.
12
I think
props
Uber
on
is
it?
one of the people that NASA are pairing with to help develop that drone and the drone system. So that's a pretty powerful partner on their side.
Well, I would love, as much as I would love to see drone taxis here in New York City, leave that stuff over there in Dubai and handle your local drone laws first.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
what's
to be ironed
happening
out
is,
first, Lawrence.
but what's happening is they're bypassing the hobbyists, they're bypassing the commercial drone pilot, and they're saying, we're going to start a drone highway here. So if you used to fly at 398 feet, you're not going to be able to do it anymore. We may have to limit you down to 200 or 250 feet. In which case, in New York, that would be kind of hard to fly with 20-story buildings around.
Exactly.
I
It'd be
mean,
extremely difficult.
out here where I live, the tallest building is 26 stories. You know, and so the only rabbit I know with 2 black eyes.
He's a cutie.
That's Rory.
Drone taxis, well, explicit, they're trying really hard in New York. But if you want to see actual drone taxis, type in on YouTube drone taxis in Dubai, and they'll show you. Also, the policemen over there ride on air bikes as well.
They're crazy concepts, aren't they?
Which is crazy, because if you hit something or the blades are spinning behind you, gravity will have you fall down into those blades, and it's a wrap.
Yeah.
You know, and to be riding a motorcycle with 8 blades, 2 per motor. If you check out air police or modern day police in Dubai, you'll see they have the motorcycles and all of that. I say keep that stuff over there. Can you imagine an accident with that? One of those things goes haywire and it comes down to about the height. That could get really, really ugly.
Yeah.
Bounce off a barrier and touch flipping through the air.
On land,
we are kind of due a setback similar to the automated cars, aren't we? Because obviously the automated cars had a couple of accidents that ended in tragedy, and that set them back by quite some time. So hopefully the drone industry can get through without. I mean,
well, you know what they need to perfect? They have the automated cars, and already twice here in the United States, they've shown guys like this stretched back doing 70 miles an hour, out cold. You know, and
well, there won't be anything to the drunk driving laws anymore. It's if you can crawl in and get in, the car will take you home.
Now what they're doing, hey, what's up, Night Train? Now what they're actually doing, because these guys are falling asleep, they're going to make it so that when you're sitting in the upright position, they're going to put 2 detectors in. And if your eyes aren't focused on the road or you turn away, the steering wheel is supposed to vibrate, almost like a video game, or like your controller when you're flying a DJI. You run into an obstacle.
That's just a
EBR
stopgap. Eventually, they don't care.
Yeah, but somehow they're gonna have to start bringing that car to a stop, because if anything was to happen, they need somebody who is competent and has the ability to take control.
Yeah.
And the insurance company for the automakers are not going to want to take over the billing for your insurance problem.
No.
Well, they have not caught these 2 guys, but both guys that were asleep. And I mean, one guy was stretched out. His head was almost on top of the back seat. He was out. And
I saw that.
Somebody was recording it like this. Now, keep in mind, they're on a highway and they had to speed up to pass the guy. And the guy was doing 60 or 70 sleep. Or should I say the car was doing.
The car was,
Alviez, how are you?
Yeah, I saw that. That was a little bit crazy for me because
You know, and it's not once but twice already I've seen it on the news. But I will say one thing, it's happening in California. Both incidences happen in California.
Well, the thing of it is I'm going to show my old man.
Thank you, Hadley.
Okay,
Is they're going to eventually have passenger drones that are going to be autonomous.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the difference with if it's going to be on the road with an autonomous car?
Well, it's already like that in Dubai. Right now, they've gone from when they first launched it, they had a pilot, but the pilot just put in the coordinates and sat there and it did everything, which was cool, which is what they want you to do when your car is on auto drive.
Right.
Keep your hands on the steering wheel in case a car blows out a tire in front of you at 60 miles an hour.
Right. Also, because if you're in the car drunk, you're still liable under the law. But if you're not there, meaning asleep or dead at the wheel, now the insurance.
How is the insurance company going to cover that?
Like any company that covers if somebody falls asleep while driving.
True.
I mean, I know so many people that have fallen asleep and cracked up their cars coming home from third shift.
Well, where I see an issue is somebody, let's say, has a heart attack in a self-driving car. The car goes home and parks in the garage, and there's the body in the car.
Hey, it's better than plowing into 5 other cars.
And then the car wakes up the next day and takes you to breakfast.
Right. It takes you through the drive-through.
Yeah.
And then drives you to work.
The automated Starbucks bot gives you your normal order straight in the splash.
Uh-huh.
Burrito and a coffee.
We're gonna be, you know what? I hope when it gets to that point.
Explicit, thanks for stopping in. What happened?
I hope when it gets to that point, I'm not here anymore. Can you imagine that, Paul? You're right. Can you imagine that? Decomposing bodies just driving up and down the street because everybody has it automatically programmed.
Automatic program.
For the car to get up and go at that time.
Right. Whether you're in it or not.
Daily route to work.
I'm taking a sick day, but my car went to work for me.
Car clocking in for you.
That would be funny. So Sean, what do you want to do? A plug for your live stream for your show, man? You've been on here all this time.
They find me. I don't mind. I'm not that big into. I'm also still learning how to do this whole YouTube thing. So it's probably better you watch someone else until I get better.
Yeah, but I mean not live stream. I mean, what you put out shows.
Yeah.
You put out videos.
I have 2 or 3 videos a week, ranging between the latest breaking drone news. Like, for instance, we brought you the Mavic Mini, the official photos of it a few days before it came out. We don't deal with too many rumors, only substantiated ones. And we also have obviously other news on drone laws, both in the US and the UK and across Europe. And then we also have new specials like the one we did last Friday, which was actually on the drones of World War II, which was an interesting video, which we actually filmed at an aircraft museum, which was
Sean,
my first location.
Any insight do you have on like the Inspire 3 they're talking about?
I have a video coming out on it tomorrow.
Funny you guys mentioned that.
Yep, I have a video coming out on it tomorrow, which will discuss the Mavic 3 and the Inspire 3 and dig a little bit deeper as to the truth of them.
You hear that, guys? Mavic 3 coming. That means the price
Allegedly.
of those Mavic 2s will go down, and I'll get one.
Oh, wouldn't that be nice? Yeah.
Geek Savannah's channel. That's tomorrow. He's going to be putting it out. So if you want to be in the know,
Sean, type in the chat so they know. Hey, Herman, I went to the YouTube main page, and you are on my recommended list that you are live.
Yeah. Okay.
That's pretty good. I like that.
Now, check this out, Lawrence. The company that when you guys are talking about the drones, the taxis, is Volocopter. They're in Germany. They make those drone taxis that look like the helicopter bodies with all the propellers on the top.
Right. I don't recall if I have it still in my watch later folder,
Yeah, they have
but
one drone that's called the Bowler City.
yeah, but it's kind of scary.
Drone one.
It's kind of scary having all of these drones and all these props flying over me, and I can't even fly my 2.5, 3 pound drone.
I know they get these 100-pound, 200-pound drones flying around, or 1,000-pound drones. Who knows how big these cars are? And I can't fly my FPV.
Well, this thing's about the size of a helicopter.
What's that?
Right, they're the size of a helicopter. Yes,
Yeah, that was pretty big.
that's true. In fact, even though it had, I can't find the video, but even though it has smaller props, the diameter of the prop propellers around the actual cockpit are the width as if you would have had a giant prop on it.
Yeah.
So
basically what they're saying is that an electric helicopter is a drone.
hello, wandering photographer, and welcome to Wednesday Nights with those guys.
Because that's basically what it is.
You said it was called the Velocopter, right, or something?
Volocopter.
Volocopter. Let me see if I can
That's the name of
find
the company.
if I can find it really quick, because I like the design, but the E-Hang got them beat though.
Yeah. Except the
Volocopter,
difference,
yeah.
the Volocopter has the props over your head, okay?
Here, I got it.
The E-Hang has them down just about knee level, chop your legs off.
Yeah,
Oh, that's going to happen on impact anyway.
Yeah.
Here it is. Volocopter flies over. Of course, we have to
batteries.
see this. They get a free commercial on us. But here's a test flight of it. Let me go full screen. And this is being operated with a pilot, but supposedly it will be automated. Now, it has the same diameter as you see of the of a helicopter with one giant prop on it. This version is only a two-seater, but I've seen the four-seater versions, which are, of course, the cockpit is a lot bigger. So I'm assuming that the diameters of it will be also, but supposedly it works. See, now that's the scary part over the water.
That's pretty cool, actually.
I can see Cool Bic doing that.
I'd like to do that. That'd be awesome.
You know what? This building here in the background, I would have loved to have flown there though, with a camera drone. But that's pretty much it. And now if I can get the video to stop. Wait a minute. What the hell?
Uh-oh, he's fighting.
Has consumed your computer now. Warning.
Okay, here we go.
Warning,
Yeah.
Will
Let me get that. I gotta get that as a ringtone.
Power loop it.
Danger, Will Robinson. Danger, Will Robinson.
Danger, Will Robinson. Warning. I was thinking power loop in that big building.
Because right now, my ringtone is Sanford and Son. Sanford and Son. Okay, yeah. But I've been thinking about the Danger, Will Robinson, when selected people call me. You know.
I like
because
that.
no one young understood it. Only one person. I was in a store and someone called me and he had what you know, the Sanford and Son theme song.
Danger,
And this old guy turned around. He's like, "Yo, that's a bad ringtone." And he was the only one that recognized it. Everyone else was looking at me like, "What the hell is that?"
Yeah.
Hey, Spirit Vox, welcome to Sunday Nights with those guys. Any other news we got, Sean? Or do you have anything? Or you need to hold out.
Who?
You need to hold on to stuff. I understand.
Who, me?
Yeah, but I always want to bring stuff back.
Paul,
to
what have you brought new?
What have I bought new? I haven't bought anything new, but I flew another ship this afternoon. So,
Well, I watched 2 of your videos, and I'd like to say I'm highly insulted at the fact that I've been watching your videos. You've not commented back to me.
yeah, I know that's Lynn's job. You know,
It's all right. I understand.
Public relations.
I understand.
Sensitive.
Did you watch the one that I did with the Mavic Mini, the most recent one I did with the Mini?
I can't find which one. I've watched 2 or 3. I don't know if I watched it or not. What's the name of the ship?
It was hang on a minute, I'll tell you.
Uh-oh.
It was the John J. Boland.
I'm
And I
going
Too
I'm going
friggin'
there
close
now.
to the bow.
I'm going there now because I was looking and John J. Boland. Oh, you
Oh.
shot that. I did see that,
Okay.
but
It sweeps across the bow. I do a side slide as it's coming towards me, and then
I
all
did
of a
see
sudden-
this. You caught it just as it was midway through the bridge. Half of it was on one side of the bridge, half was on the other.
Okay,
I
keep
did
watching.
watch that one, the John J. Boland.
Yep.
I did definitely.
It's
I
about
did see that.
about at the 1 minute mark.
Yeah, because I was like, wait a minute. He doesn't usually go across the bow like that, so close.
Mm-hmm.
But so how was the signal flying that ship?
That's why I was so close. Is it started cutting out?
Oh,
And-
get out of here.
Yeah.
I do know you don't go near the radar antenna and their regular.
big metal. They had radar on the front, radar on the back, radar everywhere.
That's probably why. Yeah, that's probably why it went out. I'm looking at that cone on a weather cone, weather satellite cone on the back of the ship as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
They have a big staff with this dome piece over it. I see in the video. I did see that video. Yes, I did see this one.
Drones are good in wide open space.
Okay, that would explain why you went so close. 'Cause I've never seen you get that close to a ship. I'm like, whoa, you're getting a little ballsy there.
Yeah.
But that wasn't the deal. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, believe me, I was ballsy. They were sweating too. I'll tell you what.
Because you did come when you got that close. I was like, wow, Paul's really changing the way he flies.
Yeah.
Now I have it explained.
Yep.
He was really about to pass out.
Yep. I said, "Take me now, Lord." And here we go.
Well, I expect to see some more videos with it. But in the subject, put flown with Mavic Mini.
It
That's
is.
why.
It is.
I didn't see it. I didn't see
It
it.
says the name of the ship, then in parentheses, Mavic, DJI
Okay.
Mavic Mini.
Lawrence,
Yeah.
let me know whenever you want to go down to the DJI store. Good, I'll go with you.
Yeah, there you go.
Where you going there for
Nah,
the mini?
Yeah, Lawrence is going to get a Mini. Yep.
I can't afford it. I'm looking at bigger
Yeah.
things.
You can definitely afford it.
I'm looking at bigger things, man. Read between the lines.
Lawrence, I'm gonna persuade you in that thing. I'm telling you. What you see? What I'm gonna put up? The video I'm about to put up with that joint in the nighttime.
All right. All
In the
right.
nighttime, you're gonna be. I'm blown away, man. I'm telling you right now. You know me. I'm a hard critic on
Can
myself,
that thing shoot at night?
bruh. I'm telling you, bruh. Like, oh man, yo, I'm blown away. That's all I gotta say, man.
All right. All right. I'll
Well,
wait to
that's
see
it.
some pictures.
Yeah,
What
I'll
do
man.
you
definitely
like?
wait to see some.
What do you have?
It's
I hear you.
6:20. What happened?
No, what do you have, Ray?
The Mini.
No, I was talking about the Mavic Mini,
He
like
has
the
the
night
Mini.
shots.
He was saying that it shoots. He says
I
that it
saw
does a
some
little
videos
something something at night.
on the Mini, and it got me to a point where I really want one.
Yeah,
And I was one that was against this whole. I was like,
me
it's
too.
a toy, it's I don't want a
Yep.
toy.
Yep.
Mr. Crowley, Mr.
I've
Crowley.
seen what it does. Hey, it's okay. When I see what it does, and I see the pictures that it's taken,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really a good solid flyer. Just
The only thing that turns me off is just not having these sensors. So you got to be very, very careful how close you get. That's it.
And
You
the
gotta
other-
be,
high anyways. When I'm up high, I don't run my sensors, so I can run full speed with my man.
Yeah.
And the other thing you always got to keep in the back of your mind, it's Wi-Fi.
it's Wi-Fi.
Oh yeah,
That's
Exactly.
true.
Yeah, but still,
Exactly.
pretty
That's
solid going
that's
on
true. A
my-
police officer walks by and keys up his mic.
But it has this new Wi-Fi system though. It's like a different
Enhanced.
Wi-Fi.
And we
It's supposed to be
only fly line of
Wi-Fi
sight
2,
anyway.
according
Yeah,
to them.
it's pretty good, man. I
We
mean,
only fly line of sight here.
yeah.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter, you know.
And like I said, I'll use that thing primarily. I'll use it inside the gyms, these indoor basketball games, all these different type of things I can use
Good
it
for that. Yep.
See, you know what, Mr. Crowley, you say that, but then a lot of times guys have a problem with that whole line of sight thing. And for instance, from here in Brooklyn, you can clearly see the shipyards over in Bayonne, and guys will tell you that's in the line of my sight.
Yes.
That is
Yo, Herb, you gotta start some S right
I'm
now.
just
Come on,
saying,
Herb.
I'm just saying to you
Come on,
that some
Herb.
guys interpret line of sight that way.
Well, it depends on what your interpretation of line of sight is. And the views and opinions that are heard tonight is not necessarily the views and opinions of everyone on the panel.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying that that's how line of sight is interpreted for some people.
when I flew to Cape Cod Beach, it was within my line of sight at some point.
What is that? Oh, there's Paul Strobe. Yep. Now,
That's a
here's
that's a
another
little
thing.
mini
Some
strobe. You
people
just put
believe
Velcro on it. And
that
stick it.
strobe right there, you could see 2 to 3 nautical miles.
Yep.
That's still line of sight.
Yep.
Is it
Paul,
not?
send me the link for that, Paul. Put that link on that.
You can identify your drone as line of sight.
Paul, let me get a link on that one.
Those are the
You got it.
Firehouse, Ray. Those are the Firehouse on
Firehouse.
the Firehouse strobes on Amazon.
Oh, you got one?
Amazon?
Yeah,
I
those
got
are the
two of them.
Firehouse ones. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get those. That's what I want for my Mavic and for my FPV.
Now,
Firehouse?
Yeah.
yes, Firehouse strobes for Firehouse drone strobes. Or if you type in drone strobes, Firehouse will be the first one to come up in Amazon.
Yeah, I would light it. I would turn it on, but it's gonna blind the hell out of me.
Yeah.
And you'll-
See, I've got a bunch of these little guys here too, that are just a single strobe. You just charge. There's a little battery. Charge up. You're supposed to get 4 to 5 hours with them.
Right.
And that's perfect for sticking on the back of the behind of the Mini because it's just so small.
Mhm.
Okay. In fact, and that wouldn't even affect the weight of the Mini.
No,
Because they are virtually so light. Those actual, you found it, Ray?
That's a couple of them on here. How much is
Yeah.
it? Like $30?
30, 40 bucks.
Give or take, yeah.
Yeah, I
But
see them. Okay.
Don't mess with nothing else. If it's not Firehouse, don't
Firehouse.
mess with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Firehouse.
Seriously.
You want Firehouse.
Gotcha.
Seriously, you send up something of the third party and you see it blinking, and then all of a sudden your joint blow up in midair.
And they have different colors too.
Yes,
Yeah, I
yes,
see that
they
one.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can program them so you could have port and starboard side or
Video. So I,
however you want it.
Charge it with USB cable.
I didn't want the red light flashing.
I highly suggest do not use the colors red and blue.
I'm going straight.
Only
with the
because
aluminum
I've
white.
seen a New York City drone blinking red and blue, and that was during the 4th of July. I was up flying, catching the fireworks, and of course, you're a drone pilot. You see other drones in the air, and when this firework wasn't moving but still blinking red and blue, I'm like, wait a
That's a
minute.
good idea, Lawrence.
But they were actually using the drone and directing the cops to places where people were launching the mortars in the street.
So
Yeah.
you could have been the first person I know, Lawrence, to get a ticket for impersonating a police drone.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
no.
put the red blue on,
Uh-uh.
impersonating a police drone.
Only thing blue I have on is this T-shirt. So, Geeks Vana, Sean,
Hi.
you appreciate you coming on here because you've clarified a lot of things that weren't discussed or brought up. I mean, everyone had their own live stream on it. Everyone had their own review on what they thought was going on, but you tended to be a little more detailed in certain areas.
I mean, I already had the guy on the chat, as it were, so I thought I would just jump in there and say, hey,
Big Matt,
what about this app?
give him a blue wrench, Herman. He's got a blue wrench on mine. Big Matt needs a blue wrench. He's been coming here too long.
Yeah, right.
And it's funny, Matt, because for 2 weeks in a row, we've been trying to get you on here. So we're going to get you on here eventually. It's just that we understand you sometimes you watch those guys from work. So we don't know if you're working or you're on your way home or what's happening, but thanks for coming in anyway. Also,
Matt, you at work now?
Yeah, it worked.
Also, I can say
Oh,
those guys
Blue,
have some plans for 2020. We're going to stay hush hush about it, but in 2020, you're going to see a lot of different things from those guys and how we do our live streams and our video work, everything from video to car shows to everything. You'll be
Well, I
surprised.
know Herman is planning a bus trip with all those guys to go up to Roger Palooza next summer. So,
You know, I would never get in a bus with a bunch of drone
just
pilots.
waiting on the credentials from and the finalization from everything from Central.
We're having a state survey at work, bosses all over. Okay. All right. There's nothing wrong with that. You got a Bluetooth, right? You put it on in your pocket and there you go. We know you're here. What's up, Metro Drones, and welcome. Well, how long you been here? I haven't been watching the chat for a minute. But Sean, what time is it over there by you?
11:30.
Oh, shoot. Okay. All right.
I
Not too
almost
bad.
need-
It's early. It's early.
oh, it's early, huh?
Hit the like, everybody.
Yes,
Hashtag
please.
guys.
Thank you for the hashtag those guys, which, by the way, we are slowly taking over the hashtag those guys, and we are slowly coming up. If you Google us and if you Google us, someone from those guys should come up. I think if you Bing us, I don't know about on Mozilla yet. I do know if you type in hashtag those guys, we come up on YouTube. But if you put those guys, then the original those guys, which are two Asian guys doing Gundam style sitting down.
Looks just like you and Herman.
I'm not doing Gundam style sitting down.
Only standing
That's-
up.
That's it. It's 3:30 where jump off is. That's 3:30 a.m.
Yeah.
Okay. Where is he from? Where is he? You know,
Where are
Paul?
you from?
Someplace in Europe, I think.
Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Jump
Australia?
off is not from Ireland, is he?
No, Ireland's a very similar time to us, if not
Yeah,
the same.
that's seriously.
Okay. Oh. In either
Unless
Australia or New
unless
Zealand.
he's west of us.
That's possible too.
California.
Oh yeah.
California.
That'd be the West Coast. 6:30,
Right. Okay.
Okay.
3:30. Yep, 3 hours.
So
What are
yeah.
you working on, Ray? You ordering some strobes?
Yeah, I already ordered it already. Just
He
You're
said,
gonna
what kind
like
are they?
those.
And he ain't to lift his head up yet. So
nah.
we figure he ordering some strobes.
But them things take like 3 weeks. Where they coming from? NASA?
What are they called? Firehouse?
Where did you order it from?
Or
From Firehouse over Amazon. Every last one of them is like November 15th, November 22nd. Yeah, look at them.
Yeah.
And
They
then-
might be.
And the only one that's Amazon Prime is for $95, which I ain't buying that.
Yeah, I hear you.
Right,
This
Ray?
is crazy though.
For
Yeah,
$95, you need to come to your house and put it on the drone.
22nd and the 25th.
yeah. This one says arrive November 26th through the 29th. Fastest delivery February November 22nd.
Yeah, that'd be next week. Okay.
Yeah.
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 Well, to be honest, you want to get your gifts before Thanksgiving because
Yeah,
from
rush.
Thanksgiving to Christmas, there's no telling what time your gift's going to get
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
No, but Amazon, they getting your gifts to you, boy. Trust me.
If they stock it, you'll get it.
Yeah, you getting it.
Oh,
Cause it's coming right here from 3rd Avenue in Sunset Park. I have an Amazon Now spot over here. I
Big
see what
Mac
they got
was
ahead.
asking
You know what happened?
asking what's up with the fines for YouTube. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you did come in a little late, but basically the
Watch the
fines are
stream.
just a threat, a verbal threat.
Yo, I had ordered a video game off of Amazon one Christmas for a Christmas gift, and I had to order it twice. It got jacked twice trying to get here. I canceled it. I was like, you know what, forget. But then I was like, let me order it again. And then the next time I ordered again, it got jacked again. It got here after Christmas.
Well, I got to the point I don't order anything unless it's Prime, unless I can wait.
Mhm.
If it's prime, you usually get it in 1 or 2 days.
That's what I'm saying. These other ones, none of these strobes are prime. That's why I'm like hesitating to even order with these dudes, you know?
Well, I do notice that Amazon gets them in bulk, and then if you have Prime, you can get them, but they go really fast.
Okay.
They do go, those drone strobes go really fast because now people are finding that you don't even have to use them for your drone. You can use them for other things.
Yep.
You know, I mean, guys are putting them on their bike helmets on the back of their bikes, and they're quick to charge. They're cheap.
It lasts a couple of
Except
hours.
if you look directly at one, you're blind for about 10 seconds. If you didn't burn your retina out.
That's exactly right.
Herman, you still with us, man?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm helping Ray out with the search.
Yeah.
Oh. He's just sending it. You didn't order. Did you order already, Ray?
No, I ain't ordered yet.
All right, hold on. Herman will probably find something for you.
They got
Amazon loves him.
that white Flytron, which they have 12 inch.
No, if it's not Firehouse, I don't suggest mess with it. Firehouse is actually authorized by the FAA.
And it says that in the description.
They're actually approved by the FAA.
Yeah,
a lot of those other third parties are not approved.
These are approved by
The only one that I see so far here that's got
Flytron is approved by the FAA.
Wait a minute. Wait, no.
Drone 107.
Let's see, 6 left, 2 left, 1 left.
They got this whole set of 3 here, and it's like $90-something for it.
Yeah, that's the Amazon Prime I was telling you about. Yeah, everything else is not Prime.
3 of them.
Yeah, I don't need 3 of them.
Yeah,
because it's Velcro. I just pop off, stick the tape on the other one, drones, and move them around.
Right.
Yeah, ain't shit.
Well, they're good to have in a bag too. They're good to have in a bag when you're flying, so you never know. You may want to send a drone up with a beacon on it.
Yeah.
You're only allowed to fly one drone at a time.
Actually, right.
True.
Yeah.
And unless you do
Skydio, and it flies itself.
Right. I was gonna say, unless you do like like you said, Herman, and have the Skydio follow the drone.
Follow around.
That little drone is bright too, man.
Then that would be flying 2 drones at once.
No,
which I'm pretty sure is a no-no.
Desmond Donders is heading out. Good to see you, Desmond.
Good to see you.
Desmond, thanks for coming in, and we appreciate
Desmond.
you for coming to Wednesday nights with those guys. We're slowly winding down. The show live stream is over at 7. I don't know who's coming on after us. Oh, wait. Coast to Coast Drones posted something. He's supposed to be doing something. He posted it on Facebook.
Yeah, he has a Skydio 2 tester coming on.
One of those guys' page. He had posted that he would be going live at 7 o'clock after Wednesday night with those guys.
Okay, and I know also Pusa, I believe, is on too.
Pusa, probably the wheel of shout outs. His shout out to Andrew, because every time I go in there and he's playing the wheel of that I call it the wheel of doom, but he's playing the wheel game. And of course, what initials does he use? NQ for novice quads. And I'm like, I never get it. You would think as much as I type novice quads when he do it, but the wheel has to land on your number pretty much. So the odds are against you.
Well, you know what?
I just
when you hit it, you hit it.
Right. It's a great way to promote channels, though, because it's totally random. You've seen it, right, Sean? Sean G.
I know Sean. You don't talk to me anymore, man.
First name Mister
Crowley. Remember that?
Right. Mr. Crowley.
No, I went on there a few times. That's why I've met a lot of, other YouTubers, channels, and they've, one night I hit my number hit on the wheel. So
the Wandering Photographer says night flying in Ireland is okay. It's well, you need to have a strobe here, and you definitely need to have a strobe if they want to consider it a legal flight. Right. Especially if it's commercial. If you're doing it as a hobbyist, you should still have a strobe on your drone. This way there are no mistakes. And living in a place like New York City, I would rather have a strobe on mine. Oh, see, Night Train said he hit his 1K on Pusa Studios.
All right.
Yeah, see, it's just a matter of them catching. It's like I said, it's a great way to promote your channel and get your numbers up, because they have a consistent turnover of new people coming in.
Also, whenever I go over there, a lot of people seem to know me.
That's a good thing.
Everybody.
You go there too, right? Right, Geeks Fauna? No, you never been to Pusa Studios?
Avoid it like the plague, actually. I love Andrew, and he knows I love him, but it's not my thing. The support for support thing is, in my opinion, a good way to kill your channel, but that's just my personal opinion.
Well,
Okay.
I got your credit card, buddy.
Well, good material. That good material will get your numbers up, and consistency.
Yeah. I'm slowly growing organically. So
Hey,
that's how I
Paul, what
prefer
kind
to
of
do it.
work you doing over there? You go off screen, you come back, people are handing you money.
It's good.
And can you please black out the screen so Herman doesn't get demonetized for whatever transactions you were doing over there?
My transaction is a friend of mine came over for dinner. He didn't know we were on. Yeah, I'll take fries. Yeah.
No, it's all right, man. It's cool. That's not a problem.
He went to get us McRib sandwiches.
What a cool dude. Where's mine?
Shout out to McRibs, awesome.
That's back.
I haven't had a McRib
McRibs
since
are
last
back.
Look
Yeah,
out.
once a
Hey,
year.
now see, that's funny. They don't have them here in New York.
I think they do. You just don't know it.
Yeah.
You know what? That may be a very strong
Let
possibility.
me tell you something. That Popeye chicken sandwich got everybody coming back with some stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on 1 second, really quick. Night Train, I know you're a member of those guys, New York City, but I'm getting ready to put an R9 module in. I have the plug into the back of my radio. I'm getting ready to put an R9 module into my drone starting this week. If I have any problems, can I hit you up with questions, being that you fly R9 module
No.
and receivers?
No.
Okay, I had to get that out there.
He's gonna tell you to get lost.
Now, that may be very high possibility, Paul, because I do remember seeing that the McRib was trying to come back. It
Well,
came back and stayed.
Well, you know what? Like Cool Vic said, everybody gonna try to bring back something to draw some of that crowd from Popeyes.
Yeah.
I wanna-
Popeye bum rush is over with now. You can walk right in now and get them now.
Yo, but you ever been?
I'm not messing with it.
Whole big thing going on with Popeyes. I went over there. Crowd of people in Popeyes. Mad chicken. Everybody waiting for chicken sandwiches.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I'm not messing with it. You wake up in the middle of the night holding a machine gun in a third world country, you'll know why.
What? Because of the chicken sandwich?
Look, I just don't know what the craze is about it.
Afraid you gonna fall asleep?
Listen, it's no crazy. It was just a good publicity stunt, man. They did a good marketing. That's all it is, bro.
And you know who fell? And you know who fell for that?
At the store.
All of the poor people across the country fighting and
Yeah, that's
stabbing
black,
each other
white,
up.
green, blue, everything.
Right, stabbing
But the whole
each other up.
what it was that they regular chicken, the sales were down tremendously. They were losing money. They had to come up with a gimmick. They even staged some of the Popeyes and staged those fights. So they got a lawsuit for that staging fights. But they made millions of dollars in like a couple of months off of that publicity stunt. They did very well.
What was the actual thing about this Popeyes sandwich?
It was just a chicken
we don't have
breast.
Popeyes here.
Listen, it was
Right.
just a chicken
Limited
breast
offer.
with some mayonnaise and some pickles on it. That's it.
Yeah, a
Okay.
limited offer.
Yeah.
And what happened was they ran out before the limited offer time was up. So everybody
like, that's what it was, huh?
Okay.
That's what it was, huh? And
As you say, very cool marketing.
very cool marketing, man. You can't be
Because
mad
even
with
I've heard
you
of it in the UK, and we don't even have Popeyes. So I've heard of what's happened in Popeyes.
And it was like
photographer says they have a
it was
mixed
crazy,
stroke.
man.
They have a mixed stroke.
But listen, remember, Chick-fil-A had it way before Popeyes had it. McDonald's had it. Everybody has a chicken with pickles on it. Which me personally, I take the pickles off. I ain't eating no damn chicken with no pickles on it.
I'm with you on that one.
Word, what is that about? Like,
No.
Give me the bread. When I order them, I just give me the chicken and the bread. I don't want nothing on it.
I love the mayo
First one
personally.
didn't do too
The mayo,
well.
I put my own Hellmann's on it. No,
nice.
no promotion. Yeah.
I'm getting hungry now.
You
Oh
know
man,
that,
me
right?
too.
The first one didn't do too well. That po' boy one chicken sandwich that they had,
Nah.
that didn't do too well.
I
It was the same
remember that.
thing, man. Pickles.
You know which one makes a real mean one to this day? Burger King, man. I'm telling you,
Nice, Hadley.
George. That boy's no joke.
Not the original.
What's that?
Not the original chicken sandwich. from
Oh no,
Burger
no, no!
King.
They got a new one. You know,
New one.
crispy,
Okay,
crispy.
yeah.
Yeah. And ain't no line for it.
But they were crazy with this whole chicken sandwich thing because even Jack in the Box jumped in on it, and they're not even
Yeah.
here in New York.
Nope.
They tried to give out 2 chicken patties on one bun. I'm like, yo, come on, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Crap in the box.
Yeah.
They actually moved out of the state because somebody got
Y'all
sick.
keep eating that radioactive chicken. Keep on. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Nothing wrong with that chicken. It's a regular piece of chicken, and you can't beat. If you want to buy fast food chicken, ain't no chicken better than Popeyes.
You want to know what? Like you said, Ray, it's true that when you go in Popeyes, people are lined up. In the Popeyes out here, they have one line for the sandwich and they have one line for regular customers. You can go in there and get a 50 piece if you want.
Yeah, walk right in and out.
Nobody wants the regular chicken.
And check this out, Al. On Uber Eats and Grubhub, you can't order the chicken sandwiches. You got to go to the store for them.
Oh, get out of here.
Yo, bro, they got hip to that because my man ordered 15 at one time and he got it. After that, they shut it down. They shut it down. Yo, he ordered 15 chicken sandwiches, yo. But Uber Eats, yo, they shut it down. Now they want you to go to, but now you could buy regular chicken from there, but not the sandwiches.
Hey,
Wow, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Big Matt wants to know if you're calling out Val when you're talking pickle.
No.
Oh shit. Oh, there you go.
You can't say pickle 3
There you go,
times.
Herm. There you go, Herm.
Right?
Where's that? Give me that wrench.
Yeah. Let me take that verse back, right?
My wrench.
He
Let
just
me
got
take
the
the
wrench. He's
sprocket off.
about to lose it.
Yeah. let me
I
take
don't
the
know
crank
what's
off.
going on there.
Mhm.
Well, all I know is that I have not tried it, and I've been scared to. I know it's a regular chicken sandwich, but the last time I tried something like that, getting online for food, I was disappointed. So to avoid being disappointed,
You're
and
gonna be
people have told
disappointed.
me it's their regular chicken on a
Yeah.
bun with
With
pickles.
pickles and mayo.
Like
That's it.
Ray says, I do not have desire to taste a piece of chicken with pickle.
Nope.
Now,
I'm so hungry. I want to die.
I did taste the one from McDonald's, and the only thing that the one from McDonald's,
Lettuce.
right,
Yeah.
that
That's
was the
different.
only difference,
Oh, which
and
chicken
it was a
sandwich
lot
from
messier.
Or the
McDonald's?
McChicken. The McChicken from.
Oh, come
50
on.
chicken sandwiches.
No, but the McChicken what Lawrence is talking about, that's the regular one with the mayo and the lettuce. That's
really?
the
It's
cheapest
over.
one. Yeah.
The buttermilk one that they got is better.
Yo, that one's the banging right there, Herm. What?
Yeah, just
It's about $9 though.
I was gonna say since you're there, I'd take.
But see, that's what I was trying to tell you. With Jack in the Box, they tried to undercut everybody, try to bring that sandwich in.
A
Go
double
where you want to go and get what you want. You know what I like.
chicken sandwich. Come on, bro.
You can keep that. Under
Yeah.
$5? No, I'm sorry. You didn't get
Nah.
me go.
And then McDonald's came out with the deal, the bundle. You buy a Big Mac and get the other one for $1 or whatever it is. Everybody gimmicking right now because Popeyes
Everybody's
and shut them up.
trying to get everybody in there.
Hey,
Yo, Big
Lawrence,
Mac.
Saigon was asking if you're going to buy a Mavic Mini.
That's why I
Yes,
told him.
he is.
Herman's
going to take him to the
That's why I
DJI
told
store.
him no. I need a Mavic 2 Pro.
DJ's taking him to the.
I need a
Herman's
Mavic
taking
2 Pro.
Lawrence
I'm
to the
ignoring you,
DJI
Paul. La 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 la.
Hey, news flash for you guys. My buddy just went over to McDonald's to get the McRib. They stopped selling them yesterday.
Yeah, it was only for
makes you hungry.
Limited off.
Limited
But that
time.
one-
Yeah. They do that always before
Paul.
the week before Thanksgiving. They shut it down.
Paul, I'm going to tell you what's happening. What it is they grow this giant slab of something in a test tube, and they grow a giant piece of it. And they cut it up and they distribute it out to all of you guys out there in the Midwest. and they call it a McRib. And then when they run out of this giant slab, it takes another year to grow another one.
I've never had a
Yes,
McRib. Ever, never had a McRib. I
No?
was just something about that. I was like, nah, McDonald's and pork, I'm not doing it.
No, I don't know. I never.
Well, I can kind of understand that because it
I'm
was
telling you, bro.
rumored at one time that McDonald's was using 75% kangaroo
Horse
beef.
meat.
Well, it was 75% kangaroo beef. Now that was wrong. It was actually 85.
Yeah, I mean, seriously. And they told you that.
Yes, they told you they were using kangaroo beef
Listen,
when it
nah.
first started. Now what they're using in their burgers, I don't know.
That's why I only buy quarter pounders
What's up, Nacho? That's all I get. That's all I get from them. A quarter pounder with cheese.
or the fish fillet. That's it.
Yeah, those are the only two things that I do eat from McDonald's.
I don't even eat their French fries. I buy the hash browns.
At least it looks like
I agree with Big Matt. This is making me very hungry as well.
Fucking Matt always hungry, yo. Tell Matt, yo, you always hungry.
well, we got a little bit. We got 11 minutes left to the live stream. And for those of you who missed it, we did start it out really early because it was a lot to cover. The actual subject and why Geeks Vana. Sean was here. If you want to fill in for me,
I'll watch it. Okay.
Me?
Sean or who? Anyone.
Make them
Geeks
go to the
Vana,
live
fill
stream.
in.
Make them go to the live stream and watch it.
That's right. Don't
Yeah.
even say nothing.
Yeah.
You gotta,
Well, basically-
you gotta wait
based
for it to
based on the
say it.
previous Those Guys show, as we all know, it came up about the DJI app that is going to let anybody see where you fly your drone. Well, on behalf of Those Guys, the UK reporter from Those Guys, Sean from Geeks Vana,
Yes.
went out and went straight to one of the vice presidents of DJI and got some answers. And if you watch back on the stream, you'll see some very interesting answers about the truth behind the app, what it's going to do, and what it's not going to do, which is just as important.
That's right.
And
Breaking
after
story.
you've watched the stream again, put a comment.
Definitely.
Tell
And-
us what
I
you
like
think.
it. I like it.
It was done here on Those Guys. Thank you, roving reporter from the UK across the pond, sir.
Thank you.
All right.
We actually salute like this. So I'll have to salute you like
Okay. All right. I got you. I'm sorry.
that. No, not across the forehead. We're not. Idiots. Come on now. We're not idiots. We're allies here. We're
It's
allies.
like
Come
this,
on.
right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
that. That's
Perfection,
it.
sir.
Okay. I did
All
kind of
this.
feel like that, didn't I?
All this, huh? Are you trying to say I'm losing my hair?
Yeah, right. Kind of block the shine.
that goes for everyone here except Mr.
Every week it
Crawley.
goes further back. Come back. Ooh.
That goes for everyone here except Mr. Crawley.
The official high sign of the He-Man
supposed to be?
Haters Club.
Oh, that's not the He-Man's Hater Club. That's my son. He said, I'm giving up secrets. You remember
This is
Al
now the
Bundy?
Those Guys salute.
That's Al Bundy, no ma'am.
Justin's
up,
wondering what he
Justin?
walked into.
Hello, I'm a little late, but you know.
Hey, Justin.
Hey, what's up, man?
What's up?
You came in, that's all. Crowley wears a wig, Night Train says.
There's a wig.
Now that's an
Wow.
accusation.
I don't even have a gray hair. I have like two of them. I don't wear a wig.
Hey, Justin, just to get you on board, Herman has offered he's taking Lawrence to the DJI store to get a Mavic Mini.
Oh, nice.
Don't believe it, man. Don't listen. You should know better than listening to Paul. Paul is the king of
Well,
instigation.
yeah, but it's kind. Justin, you remember when he said he would never own a Mavic?
That's it. That's it. Big Matt is right. That's the Benny Hill salute.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
My childhood flashing back.
You want to know what? I never laughed as hard at television or comedy on television until I saw Benny Hill.
Yeah.
Remember I was on channel 25? That's what channel it was channel 25. And then I went to channel 2 after that.
Well, when Benny Hill was on over here, we only had 3 TV channels.
Same here.
We had
Oh,
satellite,
wow.
no cable,
Well,
nothing.
we had more than that, but
So
I
we
think
kind
here-
of
I
had to
think,
watch
yeah.
him.
I think here we had just over 13.
Damn.
that
plus
was
3 UHF.
I still remember the huge news, the big day when Channel 4 launched in this country. It was a big day. There's a 4th channel.
Do you remember when they used to turn off and they said we're closing for the night and they'd play?
Yeah. They still
Yeah.
do here. They
The
still
American
close
flag
down for the,
flag.
a lot of them do here.
That's
I-
when you knew if you ain't done it by then, take your behind the bed.
Yeah.
Because if you saw the national anthem coming up and then you saw the lines, you knew
Exactly.
if you watched the Late Show, the Late Show, the Late Late Show, and the Late 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 Show.
And the Too Late Show.
Uh-huh.
Isn't there an urban myth that they used to play that slightly louder than the normal thing to wake you
They
up in
did.
your chair?
Yeah, yeah, yes, they did it purposely because it would be, you know how you watch TV at night because the house is quiet,
Yeah,
everyone's speaking soft, and all of a sudden you hear the national anthem, dun dun
Brilliant.
dun,
That's so cool.
really loud.
And
Well,
then
you
it
know,
was-
after the
then it was
late night show, they started the stay up show now. What the hell?
It didn't turn off.
No, but
No,
do
it
you
didn't turn
remember? Do you remember the first time you watched television past
All night.
5 a.m. in the morning? Because
Oh,
when
yeah.
they started doing it,
Good times.
people were going to work with bags under their eyes, man. Did you see the late early morning show?
and then you get Alfred Hitchcock. Come on.
Hold on, Lawrence.
That show
One
was
night
just
I
sad.
sat here and I was clicking through the guide and they had the Godfather special coming on. I sat right here and watched part 1, 2, and by the time the third one was coming, I looked outside, the sun was up. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to bed.
That's about 9 hours right there.
Yeah.
I
You
sat-
know what's a good punishment for a kid? My wife did it to my son. I had to work this day one day, and my son, I come in, he's sitting totally silent on the chair, and he's looking at me like he wants to cry. So I'm like, oh, he must have did something. Wifey put him on timeout. She didn't put him on timeout. She made him watch The Godfather. Imagine making a child watch The Godfather.
Yeah, that's kind of.
Seriously, all day.
Mm.
That's better than punishment, man.
Well, I saw Jaws in the movie theater.
And he
I
told
didn't know, man.
me, please don't leave me home with Diane again.
I saw Jaws in the movie theater, Lawrence.
Get out.
Rather watch that than that Titanic.
Now, I don't know how old you think Jaws is,
It's old, dude.
but I was a little
79, is
kid.
it? 78?
I was a little
Mhm.
kid when that came up.
I saw it at the drive-through, the drive-in.
My
Wow.
mother wanted to see it, and she dragged me with her to go see it. And I had to sit there like,
1978. Oh no, that was Jaws 2.
It's funny. Herman and I were talking about movie theaters today and how the local movie theaters, you knew that they were closing down because they didn't have the same popcorn anymore. It was just popcorn from before and stuff like that.
when they finally closed the doors at the Kenmore. By the time they did that, oh my God, you would have caught some kind of disease in there.
It was close to that at the RKO here, the hot dogs.
Kenmore.
The hot dogs, I swear, they just left them on the grill overnight and then cut it back on in the morning. I'm telling you, man.
Yeah,
Don't worry about it. We never.
it was like hot jerky.
Yeah.
That's bad.
All right, we need to get in the drop. We got 4 minutes left.
Okay.
Let me just limber
Justin,
up first.
what are you doing there, man? What are you fighting with over
What you
there?
got now,
No,
new?
I just came home. That's what I got.
Oh, okay. So that's the excuse. You tell the wifey you got to do a live stream, and then you hang out, and then before she comes in, the kicks in the basement door, you're sitting there in the chair.
You got 4 minutes then, like you said. She's kicking in the door.
Hurry up, hurry up.
Yeah, right.
Wednesday night with those guys is sponsored by.
Those
guys.
And we appreciate it all. Tonight was really good. We were a lot more serious. We didn't go squirrel as much tonight as we do on Sundays, but it was very much appreciated, especially Sean Geeks Vana for bringing us a little bit of information that we did not know about pertaining to that app.
And the other thing too is tune in to those guys Sunday night on Novice Quad's channel. He's going to do his unboxing of his Mini. So
Oh, good one. Good
Don't
one. Good
believe
one.
the
Good
hype.
one. Good one.
Don't believe the hype. I do. I'm Friday. I'm getting an FPV frame, a 7-inch frame, and I'm going to start my build. That's what I'm doing.
Nice.
Like
So-
this bag right here. Where is it?
Lawrence, whenever you're ready.
Huh?
Yeah.
Whenever you're ready, let me know.
Herman will take you to the DJI store.
Cut
Matter
it
of
out.
fact, I'll film you walking in.
Whoa.
Oh, that's what we
We
need.
can
Yeah.
cut it, and then I can go inside and I can film you walking in towards the camera.
Cut it out.
Document it.
Get
Yep.
a low shot upwards, like your
Yep.
legs walking in, and we'll piece it all together in a video.
Oh yeah.
That's
Oh
gonna be a
yeah.
new video.
Audition for it. Then we
It's
can
okay. No, thank you.
shake hands with you, walk up, and you I'm here to see the mini, and you know,
It's going to be a documentary. Lawrence.
It would have to be a documentary the day you see me buying a Mavic Mini.
I can see it now.
I can see it too.
I
Horror
did
arena.
say I would never fly a Mavic, and I do own a Mavic Pro.
Paul, could you
And I do
imagine that
want a
now?
Mavic 2 Pro. But
Paul, can you see it now? The video, Lawrence coming out the DJI store talking about, I got the mini, and I just seen these other ones. I couldn't leave them here. I just had to get these two. They look so they look so cute with the other ones.
I couldn't separate them right here.
I got skins for the other one.
With bags.
He's got bags like this coming out. He can grab the other two bags too.
I wish.
He's got hard cases and skins and everything. For it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But none of them will fit the Mavic Mini. I can assure you.
Lawrence does everything first class, you know.
Huh. Don't let my wife hear you say that.
Yeah,
We
you
appreciate
you know a different Lawrence, huh?
Leave Lawrence makes me keep these.
Where's that Lawrence at? Right?
Right on, Ray.
Oh yeah. Ooh, you.
All right, gentlemen, have a good night.
Everybody,
Later,
it's
Yes,
7
sir.
p.m. Herman, let's get the hell out of here.
Everybody,
Guys,
be good.
everybody
Hey,
in the
fellas.
chat, I'd like to thank everybody for stopping in and hanging out with us here. And I'd like to thank all the guys in the panel for stopping in, you know, Paul, Mr. Crowley, Ray, you know, those guys. And Sean, thank you very much for the information on that, on that DJI app. Thank you very much for enlightening everyone.
Mhm.
Lawrence, you got anything?
We appreciate you all.
And
See ya.
if anybody's interested, go and see Geek Savannah tomorrow because
Yes.
he's going to have all the details on the new DJI releases.
Yes,
Yeah, I gotta get on his
please
channel.
support
Yeah,
his
get on his
channel.
Check out his
He
channel.
has a lot of great drone news.
And
Thank you,
coast
guys.
to coast drones at 8:30 tonight Eastern time.
He's at 8:30.
8:30.
Okay. He must have changed the time. Earlier I might have seen the wrong time period. But I'm glad you caught it.
Yep.
Everyone, thank you for stopping in. And I'll see you next time on Phantom Flight 101 with
Yeah, man.
those guys.